Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to start chapter number 3 biology, which was started in the previous lecture, but today we are going to do another topic of biodiversity, classification, aims and principles. First of all, we'll come to know what are the aims and principles of classification, but before knowing the aims and principles, we will know what is actually classification. Classification means division of organisms into different groups. Now we cannot say that we will divide each organism into a group. We will see the organism's characteristics and then we will divide those organisms into groups. The organism with the same characteristics will be put into a single group and the other with the other similar characteristics will be put into another group. Our next question comes into mind: what are the aims of classification, why to do classification, and the next is principles, what and how to do. Means the first question is why we want to do classification. There is a large collection of very dissimilar form of organisms found on earth. Over 1.5 million types of animals and over 0.5 million types of plants are known to biologists, and these are only a small proportion or percentage of the total types of plants and animals estimated to live on earth. Means there are many more plants and animals on the earth, but biologists are known only to this particular quantity or amount of types of animals and plants. They range in complexity from small and simple bacteria to large and complex human beings. As we know that bacteria are unicellular organisms and human beings are complex multicellular organisms. Some of them live in sea, some on land, some walk, other fly, and still other are stationary. If we can take in the sense that, for example, some animals do walk, humans walk, plants are stationary. Each has its own way of life, such as getting food, avoiding unfavorable environmental conditions, finding a place to live and reproducing its kinds. When there are so many diverse kind of organisms, it becomes difficult to learn about the characteristic of each. To study such a large collection, biologists classify the organisms into groups and subgroups, and for this task they require some system. So biological classification is a method by which biologists divide organisms into groups and subgroups. So it means classification is a method by which organisms can be divided into groups and subgroups, and the characteristics, similarities and differences of an organism can be studied. Students, next, what are aims of classification? Why do we want to classify these organisms? First of all, the aim of classification is to determine the similarities and differences among organisms so that they can be studied easily. Next is to find the evolutionary relationship among organisms. What is meant by evolutionary relationships among organisms? It means we will see the relationship of organisms at some the point of origin to the point of existence, that are they related to some organisms or not. For example, if we take example, we can say mammals, which are related to the reptiles, and aves means birds which are also related to the reptiles. The modern birds which are now being seen were first seen with common characteristics of reptiles. The branch of biology which deals with classification is called taxonomy. Means the branch of biology in which grouping of organisms with similar characteristics is done is called taxonomy, and the branch of biology which deals with the classification and also traces the evolutionary history of organisms is known as systematics. It means the branch along with the classification of organisms also find out the evolutionary relationships with the other organisms. Basis of classification. Classification is based on relationship amongst organisms, and such relationship is got through similarities in the characteristics. These similarities suggest that all organisms are related to one another at some point in the evolutionary histories. It means when biologists are to classify organisms, they'll see the characteristics which are similar to one another and then they put into the same group, and these similarities suggest that in the past, in some evolutionary points, they share some common characteristics. For example, however, some organisms are more closely related than the others. For example, sparrows are more closely related than pigeons than to insects. When biologists classify organisms into groups and subgroups, these similarities are seen in the external and internal structures and stages of development. Modern genetics provide another type of information to taxonomists. The similarities and differences in the DNA of two studied organisms can be used for getting idea about similarities and differences in the structures and functions, which means if the DNA of two organisms matches at some points, which means they had some common characteristics. If it does not match at all with one another, it means they don't share any common character or function. Taxonomic hierarchy. The group into which organisms are classified are known as taxonomic categories or taxa. The singular is taxon. The taxa form a ladder called taxonomic hierarchy. What does mean by taxa form a ladder? It means it forms a series which makes taxonomic hierarchy. All organisms are divided into 5 kingdoms. You better know: kingdom Animalia, Plantae, Fungi, Monera, Protista. So kingdom is the largest taxon. On the basis of similarities, each kingdom is further divided into smaller taxa in the following way. The largest taxon is kingdom. After that comes phylum. Phylum is a group of related classes, which means after kingdom, phylum comes. After phylum, there are classes of organisms which have some common characteristics. After that, order. After that, family, genus, and species. Species is basically the basic unit of classification. Now we look into the classification scheme of two organisms, human and bee. For example, if first of all we look at the human, we will see it. Kingdom is Animalia, phylum is Chordata, class Mammalia, order is Primates, family Hominidae, genus is Homo, and species Homo sapiens. And if you look into the classification scheme of bee, it shows kingdom is Plantae, phylum is Magnoliophyta, class is Magnoliopsida, order is Fabulis, family is Fabaceae, genus is Pisum, and species Pisum sativum. Now we'll see into the species, which is a basic unit of classification. Species is a basic unit of classification. A species is a group of organisms which can interbreed freely among them and produce fertile offsprings but are reproductively isolated from all other such groups in nature. What is meant by interbreed means to cross fertilize, to cross mate, to hybridize. There is difference between cross fertilize and self fertilize. Self fertilize means the organism is hermaphrodite, means it have both sexes of on its own, so it reproduces by self fertilization. But cross fertilization means gamete of one organism matches or hybridizes with the gamete of another organism to produce another offspring. Okay, each species possesses its own distinct structural, ecological, and behavioral characteristics. Mean each species has, for example, if you look into the species of Homo sapiens, that has its own behavioral characteristics. If you look into the species of plants or other animals or some other bacteria or other microorganism, they will have their own distinct characteristics. Student, this is basically taxonomic hierarchy. What was taxonomic hierarchy? It was series of or classification of organisms. So first of all, what was classification? Classification was meant by to be organisms to begin into different groups and subgroups. So taxonomic hierarchy was the series of classification. So we can see of Homo sapiens means social animals, which means humans. Kingdom is Animalia, phylum is Chordata, class is Mammalia, order Primates, family Hominidae, genus is Homo, and species Homo sapiens, which is a basic unit of classification. In the definition of species, we must emphasize in nature. Why we have to emphasize on the word in nature? Because two organisms related to two different but closely related species can crossbreed under artificial conditions, which means when we talk about the species, okay, in such unnatural crosses they produce infertile offsprings. For example, a cross between a male donkey and a female horse produces an infertile offspring, such as mule. So students, that was the basic lecture about classification. I hope you understood all. And now we are going to write the questions. Your first question is, what are the aims of classification? Your second question is, define taxonomy. Your third question is, define systematics. Your fourth question is, what is the basis of classification? Why we need classification and why biologists have done the classification of organisms. Which type? Your fifth question is, which type of information does genetics provide? Your sixth question is, define taxa and taxonomic hierarchy. Seventh question is, describe classification scheme, which is general. You have to describe, which is on the top of your page number 34. Your question number 8 is, describe classification scheme of human. Your ninth question is, define species. And your 10th and the last question is, how an infertile mule is produced. You can find out the answers of these 10 questions on your page number 33, 34 and 35. I hope you understood this. This is basic lecture. There's nothing too more to tell you. So I hope whatever I have told you, you might have understood. Thank you so much.